down your questions on your phones. Maybe, yan, okay? Dito po tayo, upo po tayo lahat. Anyway, our co-editor, Isabel Denoga, is also here. Co-editor, can you also go here and sit? You may sit here. Yeah. Yeah, great. Okay, so I have a first question for Direk Lau and also our writer, Honey. So I guess what was the seed of this film? What was the seed of this film? What made you want to tell this story in the first place?
Hello, good afternoon. Sorry, naiyak ko.
Palakpakan po natin ulit sila. It's a very harrowing story.
2020, nagre-research kami ni Hani. Pikit lang ang mata ko.
Of course.
We were supposed to do a movie about some PW din na paddler. And during sa aming research, sa Zoom kami. And yung isang babae doon, Honey, yung isang babae na interpreter, she was an interpreter, courtside interpreter, na kwento siya about her story. And sabi ko, Honey, huwag na natin gawin itong paddlers because ito yung I think, nakakuha tayo ng isang magandang kwento. Nakatiso din ng kwento about the story. So ito yun. Sorry, emotional na talaga ako. Kailangan ko ng beer.
Kung pwede daw pong kumuha ng Red Horse.
Ayun, sorry. Ayun, so basically, natisod namin yung kwento.
Yeah.
And sabi ko, Honey, ito na yung unahin na natin to. I think ito yung dapat kailangan bigyan ng kwento, ng boses. Because napaka-harrowing yung experience ng mga batang to. And also, nung nabalitaan namin na isa sa mga stories about yung sa pare. Because talaga to na ito talaga yung story na kinento sa amin ni Honey. Honey, ikaw na.
Susundutin na yung naumpisang kwento nila. So yun yung nabanggit, sineparate kasi yung pag-i-interview namin sa lahat ng mga deaf, no? Kasi Dragon Boat paddlers, mga 22 sila, nahiwalay yung mga amputees, or yung blind, ibang persons with disabilities. So yung lahat ng deaf, kailangan ng interpreter. Mostly sa kanila yun, volunteer sila, no? Tsaka doon rin namin nalaman na hindi ka lang basta pala interpreter, no? Na marunong mag-sign language. Iba-iba rin pala yung kanilang specialization. Meron sa medicine, so meron din sa court. At sa korte, halos volunteerism lang talaga ang nangyayari sa kanila, to the point na pati pamasahe pagpunta sa mga isla-isla, sila na ang gumagasto, no, para matulungan lang talaga na maisulong yung mga cases. And then mostly din ng mga cases ang nangyayari sa kanila, pag wala kasing interpreter, good as talo na yung kaso or dismiss na yun, no? Pag walang interpreter, wala na. So pag malalaki yung case, either pag na-bribe ang interpreter o na-threaten, na naka-receive sila ng threat, hindi na susulong yung kaso. At mostly din ng mga cases, sabi nga nung mga na-interview namin na court interpreters, hindi natatapos yung cases. At napakamura din kung babayaran din sila ng Supreme Court, dito pa sila magfa-file. No? So iniipon daw nila yung files and folders para balang araw pwede nilang ma-reimburse na yung kanilang per appearance, no, sa court. And yun din, sobrang na-shock kami nila at sobrang naapektuhan kami na imaginein mo na 1 out of 3 na batang deaf, as long as deaf, maaari ka ng maabuso ng sexual, babae ka man o lalaki. At minsan nga may mataon na 70% pa ang percentage. So parang sabi na nila, bahala na, hindi tayo magkapera. Hindi na tayo magkapera dito. Hanap lang tayo na maniniwala sa atin na gawin na ito na pelikula kasi kailangan marinig, no? O i-amplify yung tungkol sa kwento ng ating mga deaf. No? At yun lang po kayo masabi.
Thank you. I have another question and then we can move on to audience questions, I think. Obviously, I feel like the audience will ask our actors how they got into these projects. So I wanted to ask like Ina, Mylene, and also especially Enzo. Palakpakan pa natin si Enzo. What was your first time like reading it, and siguro were you also scared like tackling the project, you know?
So, bago po ako makapasok po dito sa movie na to, nasa school po muna ako, bago po ako mag-audition. Then, biglang tumawag po sa akin si Mami, may audition ka para sa isang movie. Sabi ko, sige po, ipaalam nyo na lang po ako. Ngayon po, yung school, ayaw po nila akong paalisin. No, dito ka lang, mag-aral ka. But, pinilit po ng pinilit ni Mami hanggang sa sinabi niya na po, wala na akong pakikay, hindi kayo hindi kayo magbabayad pag may nangyari. Hindi kayo magbabayad. Then pumunta na po ako. Magdi-discuss na sana po yung audition. Uuwi na po sana. Kaso biglang dumating po ako. And then nag-audition po ako. Nagustuhan po ako ni Direk Dom. And pinartner po ko niya sa kapatid ko po in the movie, si Ruslan po. Then, nag-usap po sila. Then, the next day, nalaman ko na po na natanggap po ako. And, laking pasalamat ko po kila Direk at saka kay Ma'am Prisma. And then, nung nagtitaping na po, ang lahat ng iniisip ko po is, kailangan kong galingan. Kailangan ko mas ayusin yung pag-acting ko. Kasi ayokong mapahiya yung nag-send sa akin dito. Ayokong mapahiya yung director. Ayokong mapahiya yung mga kasama ko. Mas gusto ko pang galingan kasi nandyan sila. At nandyan yung suporta ng family ko. Ayun.
Pero yung song naman, di ba? Ang galing mo. Yun. Magaling naman siya, Ren. Palakpakan ko natin siya. So I hope the pressure is off naman na lang. Mylene, can we ask?
Thank you all for coming this afternoon. Well, tapos lang namin ang shoot ni Direk Lau sa Baguio noon. Kung kailan man nagmamaneho na ako pa uwi, sakalang niya ako, 2 linggo kami magkasama araw-araw ha. Sakalang niya naisipan habang nagmamaneho ako, nasa T-Plex na ako, tawagan ako at sinabi sa akin, May, tawagan kita. Kala ko may reshoot ako sa Baguio. Yung pala, he's been meaning to ask me to be part of this film, pero nahihiya daw siya. And I think also, at that time we were filming Sagrado Pamilya Sagrado in Baguio. Doon, yung character ko doon mayaman. Lagi nakapostura, laging makapal yung makeup, alta.
Yeah, earrings.
Parang sinasabi niya sa akin, may na-explain na hindi daw niya mabura na pwede akong mag-play ng ganitong klaseng role. So nagtatalo silang dalawa ng asawa niya. So anyway, nanalo yung asawa niya, napilitan siyang tawagan ako. At dun mismo, in the span of what? 10 minutes? 10 minutes? 10 and a half? I gave my answer. As soon as narinig ko yung storyline, I knew in my head that I really wanted to be part of the project. Pero pinahaba ko lang ng konting litanya niya. Pinahirapan ko naman ng mga 3 minutes. But really, I knew right from the start that I really wanted to be part of it.
Hello, salamat nga. Salamat din sa lahat ng nagpunta. Same, bibilisan ko na lang kasi parehas lang naman din yung nangyari. Imagine niyo kunyari Friday yung shoot, Monday tinawagan ako ni Direk. Tuesday tinawagan ako ni Direk. Ina, gano'n. Meron akong movie yun nga, Cinemalaya, ganyan. And then same thing, in-explain niya yung story and ako, go kagad. And kasi for me, there was also something about the way that Direk was telling his story. He was so sure. Ang linaw sa kanya nung, yung advocacy niya, yung nakikita niya sa pelikula. So, parang yung confidence ko nandun din agad. So talagang medyo shake ko na lahat, manager, ganyan, dali na kailangan gawin natin to. As in, push talaga. And thankfully talaga, nagulat din ako na nag-work na talagang nagawa ko siya. Go na kami sa Quezon, gano'n. And wala po kaming script na nabasa. Ako, wala akong script na nabasa. Ito rin yung unang pelikulang ginawa ko na hindi ko nabasa yung script. Completely tiwala lang ako. Sige, Direk, ano bang kwento? Ano ba to eksena na to? So parang improv, pero medyo mahirap na improv dahil may sign language. But then, yun.
Thank you. May tanong lang po ako kay Direk and also to our editor. I think one of the things that stands out for me in the film is also the structure of it, right? It alternates between these scenes na nag-uusap ng parents, right? And also of the community essentially around our main character, and then it shifts to the subjectivity of yung character natin. And then may low drone na sound that's there throughout, that's usually just punctuated by like drums, for example, which I think deaf people can feel when they're inside the theater. I guess I wanted to ask, like, when did that sort of decision of structure in the story arrive? Was it in post na? And how much of it was contributed to by our editors and the sound designer?
First pa lang, alam ko na yung gagawin ko. Maging point of view talaga ito ng isang deaf mute. So sa vision ng director, parang what if dadalhin natin yung lahat ng audience, ma-experience natin yung in-experience ni Lucas. So, it's a subjective point of view. And at first, napakahirap because yung cutting point, every time na tumitingin yung character, doon ako nagka-cut. So, napakahirap siyang i-cut dahil kailangan kong yung balik ng shot, dapat nagtitinginan silang dalawa. So, may mga times na hindi ang hirap i-edit yung pelikula, panindigan. So, ayun. So, as we go along, alam mo naman na POV lang ng bata, pero nahihirapan na kami paano i-mount. Because yung blocking and staging ng yung position ng mga actors, hirap siya. Mahirap siyang i-decide given na konti lang yung araw namin, yung time namin. Pero kailangan specific ang blocking.
To our editor, like, do you have anything else you want to add? You know what? Okay.
Well, isa sa mga naging maganda din dito because kami yung pinaka-late na nag-shoot.
Oh, when was this shot? Sorry if I can.
Kailan ba tayo?
Huwag na tanongin. Actually, yesterday lang po.
Siguro yung buong process siguro mga 1 month lang siguro.
Wow.
Ang shooting to post-production.
Wow.
Magandang tulong din because while nag-shoot kami, nag-edit si Sab. So yun, buti na lang kung wala kay Sab, hindi namin natapos yung pelikula.
Parapakan ko natin sila.
I just want to add
Yes,
na kung sinasabing collaboration ng film, ito talaga yung nagpatunay nun kasi lahat ng tao sa production namin may say, lahat nagko-contribute. Masusurprise kayo ang mga ibang dialect dyan na si Miley nakaisip. Alam mo yan, yung mga ibang controversial dyan, si Miley nag-contribute dyan. May mga ganun kami. So marami dyan, even yung mga sobrang tulong-tulong kasi nga alam namin na may deadline kami, may hinahabol kami, and it's not an option not to finish and not to make it good. So,
And isa sa pinakamalaking tulong talaga si Attorney Francis Salvador. Totoong Paulo yun talaga si Attorney.
Salamat po muli sa panonood. Ano? Totoo po akong abogado. Kasalanan ko lahat kung bakit si Father Mejor ay naging... Actually, binubulungan ko siya. Alam mo, sabi ko, gusto ko talagang makulong ka eh. Kung ako lang tatanungin buti hindi tumawag. Pero sa totoo lang po, unang-una nagpapasalamat po ako kay Direk, kay Ma'am Crisma, and everybody. Kasi ang original po na plano ay consultant lang po ako. Okay, and then nagkaroon po kami ng meeting ni Direk. Ito yung mga sorpresa eh, si Direk at saka yung judge na gumanap si Manoy Rene Durian. Siya po talaga ang gaganap na lawyer. Nagmi-meeting kami, nung nakita ni Direk sabi niya mukhang loaded masyado at saka technical. Kung pwede, kung kaya mo, pwede ba na ikaw? So, hindi ko rin alam eh. Parang may divine intervention. Oo na lang ako kahit hindi ko. Oo, sabi ko. And sa totoo lang po, as a former public attorney, talagang puro defense po kasi ang hawak namin. Yung mga wala po talagang kakayahan. So sa totoong buhay po, pag tinatanong yung kliyente, ginawa mo ba o hindi? Inaamin naman nila. So ang job na lang namin as instructed by Chief Acosta, kung pwedeng mapababa yung sentensya under the rules, tinibigay namin. Pero pag wala talaga. And nagtuloy-tuloy na po yun, pati yung sa script. Natutulog na po ako alas 6 for 4 days kasi they are pressed for time. And sa totoo lang, kahit na parang may buhangin na yung mata ko, I really enjoyed every minute of it. And I'm so proud to be part of this film. Thank you.
I think we can open the question to members of the audience. So you can just raise your hand and then someone from Cinemalaya. Yes. Hi. What's your name? And your zodiac sign, and then your question.
Hi Jason, so I am Elaine Brutas from Sinigang.ph.
Hi Elaine.
And to answer your question, I am Cancer.
Love it.
Cancer ng lipunan. So,
what's your question?
Yes, just want to make a quick comment about the film. So I really love how compelling the showcasing of a sensitive topic, and I really love how I got crawled over the script and so much dialogue that gets under your skin. But my question is regarding the character of Maya. So what I've noticed is that when there are films talking about court case films, you tend to focus more on the defendant and the accused. Yeah, sorry, I'm not really into technical terms, but I just want to ask what pushed for Direk or the writer, what made you add Maya's character? Don't get me wrong, I really love the inclusion of we get to know her. What you call this? We get to know her experiences and similarities. But I'm just curious, what made you delve deeper to Maya's character instead of focusing more on?
Well, ang idea is it's a parallel story na a boy na kasi kapag nag-focus kami sa boy alone, parang maging short. Really, maging short talaga yung film. And parang sobrang harrowing na siguro ang bigat nun. And also, ginawa namin parallel story because we really wanted to do a movie about education also. Hindi lang ito ipapakita na kung ano yung nangyari, yung rape. Kailangan natin ng education because pinag-usapan na namin ni attorney yung about education. Napaka-importante kasi yung communication dito sa kaso na to. So, ang pursuit of communication, ang pinag-usapan natin, di ba? So, very important yung communication. So, that's why gusto ko i-end because we have an advocacy. Kailangan natin ipakita na solely from ang bata may education, may matututo yung bata. Kasi kapag hindi tayo natuto, wala tayong formal education, mangyayari na lang yung mga mangyayari.
In addition din kung bakit kasama yung sign language interpreter. ano rin na rin siya, no, additional or part siya sa pagkukwento na yung kaso nga tayo na nakakarinig, ang hirap intindihin ng court language, di ba? Lalo na kung ikaw may absence ng language. Para sa so paano ka tatayo doon sa sa korte na kailangan mo pala meron kang dalawang interpreter, isang native sign language interpreter, which is yung si Rome, no, yung muestra lang native, no, sa kung ano yung naintindihan natin ng pag sign language, at isang Filipino sign language. So bakit naging nilagyan na ng importance din si Mai is para sa audience din, no, na magkaroon din ng interest sa ano ba ang tungkol din sa mga sign language interpreter. Napakaiksi lang ng oras namin para magkwento, at saka syempre limitado din ang pondo, no? So hindi na pwede mapalawak pa talaga ng husto yung kwento ni Maya. Pero kung ano lang yun.
And also, I think more reason why kinailangan palabas yung kwento ni Maya, kasi katulad na nabanggit sa pelikula, kokonti lang ang mga interpreter. So bakit pa nila gagawin? Kung out of pocket na nga yung pagpunta nila sa korte, pagpunta sa mga probinsya para mag-represent ng mga taong ito, ba't nila gagawin? There has to be a reason why. And it's her story, because she couldn't speak against her husband. She was willing to do this for other people because that was her way of fighting.
I think we can, actually even the title, right, it's a triple meaning, right? It's hearing as in sense, hearing as in the court hearing, but also hearing as an act of empathy as well. So yun, maybe things to think about. Anyway, any other questions? Do we have any people? Raise your hand. They're in the middle. Hello. What's your name? And in line with yung kinikrave ni Direk Lau, may recommend ka ba na beer? Hi.
Hello po, good evening everyone.
Good evening.
I am Dr. Jan. I am a clinical psychologist. And this is not really a question, but more of a comment. Not even a comment, but more of thank you for making an awareness about this. It's really beyond a movie. I've been working with similar cases. And it really captured kung ano talaga yung nangyayari. I'm not a forensic psychologist, but I work with the therapy when it comes to children, especially our PWDs. So thank you so much. It's really, thank you.
Salamat.
Hindi ko in-expect na, akala ko horror siya, to be honest. Then sabi ko sa friend ko, totoo ba? That, yun, I got triggered the whole time kasi I'm doing really the clinical work. And hindi man lang ako yung nagre-represent sa court, pero ganun na ganun talaga yung nangyayari. And I hope maraming makapanood and magbigay ito ng message sa ating government na kailangan ito pagtuunan ng pansin. Thank you so much, everyone.
I think we have time for one more person. Ay, sige, yan. Sorry.
Magandang araw po. Leonard po, Scorpio po. Ay, beer na pala. So, Hogarden.
Great.
Ano po, left ear, hard of hearing, deafness din po, person with disability. Maraming salamat po sa representation at pukaw na pukaw po yung lahat ng struggles. I know, like, sobrang privileged na ako sa lagay kasi, like, nakakarinig pa rin ako. Pero, sobrang salamat kasi alam ko, struggles ko as a middle class nandito. Pero yung pinakita nyo ay yung patong-patong na layers of injustices na kinakarap ng mga pasyente at mga biktima ng abuso ng kakulangan ng pera, ng kapansanan na hindi po natin masyadong na ipapakita o nararamdaman bilang tayo mga nasa privilege. So, maraming salamat po. Siguro tanong na lang din po, ano po yung biggest challenge nyo dito sa paggawa ng pelikulang to? At sobrang thankful po kasi kahit na tayong lahat na nandito, sana matuto tayo nung kahit rudimentary sign language at iba pa. At ipagpatuloy po yung advocacy for persons with disability kagaya nito. Maraming salamat po.
Salamat. To answer your question, we can't really pinpoint one biggest challenge, no, because there have been a lot. Super dami, and I don't want to go into that, but I believe that things happen for a reason. And lahat ng yun, hindi ko alam kung luck, prayers, pero parang di naman halata, diba, na nag-struggle kami. So, malaking struggle din yung pag-aaral sa sign language. Pero minani-mani lang naman ni Ina with the help of our mga interpreters, mga consultants. Si Sir J. Marami sila, Sir J, si Ma'am Eloy. So anyway, maraming challenges pero importante nandito kami ngayon and natapos. And happy kami and na-happy kayo. So yun, salamat.
I think that's it for our Q&A today. Please, silent na claps. Okay? If video lang daw nila, so keep it up. Please tell your friends, tweet about
Please
it.
be kind and tell your friends.
Yeah, it's a beautiful film. Congratulations again to yung team of The Hearing. Ano? If you have any other questions, if you want to take photos with them, please do so outside. Spread the word. We have more screenings and talkbacks here in Cinemalaya.